In my last video, we talked about how we listen. The tragic shift from the immersive ritual of high fidelity to the disposable convenience of mono Bluetooth speakers. But there's a deeper, more profound loss that no one is really talking about. It's not just the hardware that shrunk. It's the entire ambition of the music itself. There was a time when a band didn't just release a collection of songs. They released a world. A 90-minute, four-sided, double album journey that demanded your afternoon, your attention, and your soul. Today, the algorithm has replaced the epic. We've traded masterpieces for 15-second soundbites. We've lost the patience for the journey. This is the story of the lost art of the double album. So, what exactly was a double album? It wasn't just two records, it was a statement. It said, "We have so much to tell you, so much to show you, that one record simply isn't enough." It was a commitment from the band and a commitment from the listener. You settled in. You read the liner notes. You studied the artwork. You listened. It was an event, a journey, a novel in audio form. And the best part? These albums often push creative boundaries simply because they had the space to do so. Let's start with perhaps the most iconic example of a narrative double album, Pink Floyd's The Wall. Released in 1979, this wasn't just an album. It was a rock opera, a sprawling, psychologically complex story of isolation, trauma, and rebellion. Clocking in at over 80 minutes, it's virtually impossible to listen to in fragments. Can you imagine trying to understand the story of Pink, the protagonist, by just shuffling through a playlist of Another Brick in the Wall and Comfortably Numb? No, you had to experience it from in the flesh to outside the wall. Each song was a chapter building on the last. It demanded your immersion. This wasn't background music. It was the soundtrack to a deeply personal, often uncomfortable journey. Today, an artist with a vision this grand would be told to release 3 separate EPs and include a few viral singles. The cohesive narrative, the arc of the story, would be butchered for the sake of streamability. And that, my friends, is a tragedy. If you're watching this, you probably believe music is more than just noise. It's an experience, and your support means the world. If you love these deep dives into rock history and the art of sound, please hit that subscribe button right now. It helps us keep telling these stories and building this community of true music lovers. Thank you. Next, let's talk about a different kind of double album masterpiece, Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti. Released in 1975, this wasn't a strict concept album, but rather a band bursting with so much creative energy, so much sheer musical genius, that a single record couldn't contain it. It combined new material recorded for the album with tracks salvaged from earlier sessions, creating a sprawling, eclectic, yet utterly cohesive beast. From the thunderous Kashmir and the funky trampled underfoot to the acoustic beauty of Bronuror and the epic blues of In My Time of Dying, Physical Graffiti showcased the band's astonishing range. It proved that a band could be heavy, subtle, experimental, and bluesy all at once. Today, record labels would demand these tracks be released as individual singles or series of EPs. The glorious mess, the sheer volume of their creativity that made Physical Graffiti a legend, would be meticulously chopped up, losing its power as a unified statement. It perfectly captured the feeling of a band completely unrestrained by commercial pressure, simply pouring out their art. Our final case study brings us to the very edge of the double album era. Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, released simultaneously in 1991. This was the last true gasp of epic rock ambition. Weighing in at over 2.5 hours, these were not just albums. They were a cultural phenomenon. People lined up at midnight to buy these. It was an event of staggering proportions. From a sprawling epics like November Rain and Estranged to the punk fury of You Could Be Mine and the raw emotion of Don't Cry, these albums showcased a band at its most ambitious, its most chaotic, and its most iconic. It was everything a rock band could be, blown up to gargantuan scale. But it was also a sign of changing times. The music industry was already shifting. The rise of grunge, the dawn of the internet, and the increasing focus on radio-friendly singles meant that the sprawling, self-indulgent in the best way nature of the double album was about to become a relic. The Use Your Illusion albums were the last grand rock and roll hurrah before the industry, and our listening habits changed forever. So, is the double album truly dead? In its classic form, yes. The economics of streaming, the fight for attention spans, and the shift from album as art to playlist as utility have made it virtually impossible for artists to release such ambitious, long-form statements today. We've gained convenience, but we've lost something profound. The immersive journey, the grand narrative, the sheer unadulterated ambition of bands with something truly epic to say. What do you think is the greatest double album of all time? And what do we lose when music shrinks to fit our attention spans? Let me know in the comments below. And if you believe the double album is indeed a lost art, hit that subscribe button and join our community. We're on a mission to bring back the golden age of listening. Thanks for watching.